Hello and welcome everyone to day 45 of our low-level design course. Today we explore a truly powerful practice, refactoring techniques. As systems grow, code inevitably becomes complex, messy, and harder to manage. Refactoring is the art and science of keeping our code base clean, healthy, and adaptable without ever changing its intended behavior. By the end of today's session, you will not only understand the what and why of refactoring, but you will also be equipped with practical techniques to apply it confidently in real world projects. Let's dive right in. Let's first understand what refactoring really is. In simple terms, refactoring is the disciplined process of reorganizing and restructuring our code without altering its external behavior. We aren't adding new features, instead, we are making the internal structure of the code cleaner, simpler, and more logical. Why do we need to refactor? Well, over time, even the best code bases can degrade. Developers leave, quick patches get applied, and complexity builds up, what we call technical debt. Refactoring helps prevent this decay. It makes debugging easier, accelerates feature development, and improves collaboration among teams. Now, when should we refactor? Not surprisingly, all the time. But before we add a new feature after fixing a major bug, when a pull request gets reviewed, anytime we touch the code is a good opportunity to leave it better than we found it. Refactoring is not a one-time event, it's a continuous part of good engineering practice. Of course, we can't fix what we don't notice. This is where recognizing code smells becomes critical. A code smell does not necessarily mean the code is broken, but it's a signal that something could be wrong. Common examples include duplicated code, which increases maintenance overhead, long methods that do too much and become impossible to debug, large classes, often called God classes, that have taken too many responsibilities, or features that seem oddly obsessed with the details of other classes, what we call feature envy. We also have data clubs, repeated groups of variables that suggest a missing abstraction, primitive obsession, where basic data types are overused instead of proper objects, long and complicated switch statements, and shotgun surgery, where a single change focuses edits across multiple cases. By spotting these smells early, we can intervene before the problems become deeply embedded. Now, how do we fix these smells? Let's talk about key refactoring techniques, starting with the basics. First is extract method. Whenever you find a method doing too many things, break it down into smaller, logically named methods. This not only improves readability but also reusability. Next is rename. Clear and descriptive names for variables, methods, and classes are vital. If something's name no longer reflects its purpose, refactor it. Another simple but powerful trick: replace magic numbers with constants. Instead of scattering unexplained numbers like 42 throughout your code, use named constants. It's easier to understand and modify later. We also have introduce parameter object. If a method is taking too many arguments, especially ones that belong together conceptually, wrap them into a single object, and don't forget to encapsulate fields. Never expose class variables directly, use getters and setters. This protects internal states and allows you to evolve the code without breaking external consumers. Let's go deeper with some intermediate techniques. Move method and move field involve reallocating logic to where it naturally belongs. If a method uses more data from another class than from its own, it's probably belongs there. Another technique is replace conditional with polymorphism. Instead of messy if-else ladders or switch cases, leverage object-oriented principles. Different classes can handle different behaviors cleanly and elegantly. When a class grows too large and tries to do everything, apply extract class. Break it down into multiple focused classes with single responsibilities. Sometimes you will find a method that is so small and obvious that it better off being inclined directly into the caller. That's inline method. And lastly, decompose conditional. If you encounter a complex nested conditionals, break it apart into simpler methods or clear named checks. This massively boosts readability and reduces bugs. Theory is great, but practice makes perfect. In today's live coding demo, we will start with a cluttered, messy version of an order service class. Together, we will identify code smells like God classes and long methods. Step by step, we will apply multiple refactorings, extract methods, move logic, rename confusion identifiers, and introduce meaningful abstractions. At the end, we will do a before and after comparison to see how dramatically small refactoring steps can clean up the system. This exercise will help you directly see the real world impact of good factoring. Before you dive into any refactoring effort, remember safety first. Always ensure you have a solid set of unit tests in place. Tests are your safety net. They ensure you did not accidentally break something while cleaning up. Refactor in small, incremental commits. After each tiny improvement, commit. This way, if something goes wrong, you can easily roll back. Use your IDE's refactoring tools whenever possible. Modern IDEs provide safe, automated refactoring. Take advantage of them. And lastly, recognize that refactoring is not just cleaning, it's an opportunity to reveal hidden design patterns. As you refactor, you often stumble upon structures like the strategy pattern or the factory pattern emerging naturally. Now it's your turn for today's mini assignment. Pick any code you have written during days 23 to 34, maybe your parking lot system, elevator system, or splitwise flow. Analyze it carefully. Identify at least three code smells. Then apply at least three different refactoring techniques we discussed today. Finally, submit before and after snapshots, along with a small paragraph explaining your choices. This assignment will build your instincts to recognize and improve code even without being told exactly what's wrong. Here's the simple but powerful cycle of professional software engineering. First, you write code. Next, you identify smells, areas where the code can be cleaner. Then you refactor, improve the structure without changing behavior. After that, you test thoroughly to confirm nothing broke. And finally, you improve either by optimizing, simplifying, or even planning your next iteration. Great developers follow this loop naturally, even during daily coding. Let's summarize today's session. Refactoring is not about changing what your program does, it's about changing how your program is structured internally. Small, consistent improvements today prevent big, messy disasters tomorrow. Refactoring is an ongoing habit, not a one time task. And remember, good designs emerge over time through thoughtful, continuous refinement. Thank you for being here today. Keep polishing your code, and you will keep polishing your craft. Thank you for your attention.